I was looking around the internet and I found this interview with Eazy Bone. And he was talking about the whole situation with you guys at Ruthless. And he said that after Eazy died, the money situation started going kind of left. Is that true from your point of view?
Man, I think my honest point of opinion is with that, I think we had already signed. I think the contracts that we had signed from the very beginning wasn't really fair contracts. Which, you know, we was new artists at the time, and you know that's sort of things happen when you're new artists. I think those contracts were dated back when E was alive. You know what I'm saying? Like so, but E passed away, and it just seemed like, you know, after he left, everything had started. You know, started getting little. You know, so okay, where's the money? But like those were contracts we signed when he was here. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, I wouldn't pretty much say it was after he died, but that's when we noticed it, when it was when it was time for us to start getting paid our royalties and stuff like that. That's when we started noticing, you know, like stuff wasn't adding up and stuff like that. But like I said, that all came from the contract that we signed earlier in the day with him, you know?
Well, it's typical for a brand new artist not to sign a great contract.
Exactly.
Especially, you got to take it back to when you guys signed. There was no internet.
Yes.
There was no, like, you couldn't just go platinum or #1 with an independent album.
Exactly.
It just didn't exist.
Exactly.
So you really depended on the label to make you into a superstar. And most times, 90% of the time, labels would lose money on artists.
Yeah, a lot of times.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Most of the time, 90% of the time.
Yeah, most
and then
of the
that
time.
one artist that blows pays for all those losses.
Exactly. That's crazy.
Now, when you're that one artist that blows, it don't feel all that great.
You know?
But if you're those 9 artists that they spend 100, 200,000 on sending on promo tour and the single never catches.
Yeah, man. And and you're right, because we ran into like a lot of that, you know what I'm saying? The attorneys had to go in and make sure they wasn't, you know, collecting costs from what they lost on this artist off of our stuff, you know what I'm saying? And that's how I go, because like we said, they took a lot of losses, so they had to cover it some kind of way.
Right, because Ruthless had a lot of artists.
Oh yeah,
you know, people know about, you know, Eazy and NWA and Bone Thugs, but there was like Terry B.
Yeah, you know.
That never sold nothing.
Man, it was crazy. It was Terry B. It was like a lot of people on this label, you know what I'm saying, that was just there. Like, you know, the Black Eyed Peas was signed to him at first.
Right, they're called
the Atban Clan.
Atban Clan, yeah, exactly. They never even dropped an album.
No, never dropped an
So
album.
Eazy was just spending money on them.
Yeah.
There was the Jewish kids, Blood of Abraham.
Blood of Abraham, yeah.
That didn't sell too well.
No, so it didn't. So it didn't.
That didn't go triple platinum.
For real.
That went triple plastic right there.
For real.
Right, and they even had features from Eazy.
I know.
I mean, what else? Penthouse Players Click, was that on Ruthless?
I don't know.
But Eazy showed up on it. So,
Yeah.
But there was a lot of different artists.
Yeah, man, it was. There was a lot of different artists. It was even artists, because I remember like when we went over there and we signed them, we was like, Eazy signed them. Like, I thought this was just a straight gangster rap label, but you know, he had like, Eazy had some crazy vision, because when I saw it, when he had Blood of Abraham and the Atban Clan, I was like, hey, he must know what he's doing, because he got them all over here.
Right. So the deal that you guys signed wasn't the greatest deal from you, for, you know, in terms of you, but in terms of the music industry, just kind of how it went.
Yeah, man, anytime, look, man, I tell people this all the time. We was young cats. I don't care if he would have put the words in there plain as day, we finna rob y'all. We still would have signed them damn contracts, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you got to understand where we coming from dirty nothing, like nothing, just, okay, this is the last straw for us. If this don't happen, ain't no telling what's gonna happen to our lives. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we just like, you know what I'm saying? We signed the contracts with no attorney or nothing. We was just like, we getting our foot in the door, and this is where it's beginning right here, bottom line. And we just signed it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so of course, when you do something like that, it's not gonna work out for you in the long run. You know what I'm saying? Like me being smarter now and knowing, like, you know what I'm saying? But we use it as a stepping stone. You know, that was our way in, and you know, like, we went in after we got that way in, for real.
Oh yeah. I mean, do you think you'd be alive right now if it wasn't for that record deal?
Man, it's real hard to call, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't. It's real hard to call.
At the rate that you were going,
Oh,
and
no.
you look at everyone around you during that time, had you not been that one to sign the record deal, and you're still there with all your friends in that same neighborhood.
Oh yeah, no. At the rate we was going, something would have happened to one of us, like jail time, death, something would happen, because we was like right before we left it and decided to go to Los Angeles, we was hot. We was some hot boys for real. Like we was like, yo, if we don't leave and get up out of here, we ain't making it up out of here. We gotta go.
Okay.
You
So the police were already investigating y'all and everything.
Yeah, bro, we was hot. We was known in the hood. Like we was known for real.
That's not a good way to be.
Exactly.
Now, Busy told the story about how Eazy just showed up one day with pounds of weed.
Oh yeah, man. He used to do that all the time. Like the first day we came, when we first came back after we met him in Cleveland, and he paid for us to come back here to meet him here in California. He put us up in a hotel, and he was like, "I'll be back in a couple of days." And when he got there, he came with a big ass bag, a big ass pound, and was like, "Y'all keep this," because before he had somebody bring us like an ounce or something over, and that was gone in a day. He was like, "Y'all smoked that?" We was like, "Man, that shit is gone, bro." Like we smoke, you know what I'm saying? So then when he got back, he brought us over a whole pound. He was like, "I hope this lasts, y'all." So he used to take care of us though, for real, definitely.
Right, and you're a heavy smoker.
Man, I used to be. I used to be a real heavy smoker, man.
You stopped?
Well, I really can't do it how I used to do now. You know what I'm saying? Because I had some lung complications, but you know I do the edibles every now and then. You know.
Oh, so you actually had lung issues from smoking?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I had a autoimmune disease called sarcoidosis, and it's when your immune system is working overtime, but it has nothing to fight off, so it starts attacking your organs, like your lungs, your kidney. In my case, it started attacking my lungs. I was like, it is crazy because I tell my doctor, I was like, I've been smoking my whole life, and she was like, this is not from smoking. That's what's crazy. What's crazy
You have a lung disease that doesn't come from smoking.
Yeah, they don't come from smoking. I was like, that's just my luck right there. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? I just got to stop anyway, just to make sure everything else is cool. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to put too much pressure on and cause more damage. So I'm just like, shit, I'm gonna just fall back. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, but you look healthy.
Yeah, man. Been trying to stay healthy, man. You know, definitely.
So Busy Bone actually talks about a plan to kill Eazy's wife.
Yeah, man.
that y'all had to talk him out of.
Yeah, man, it was crazy. Like I never talked to him out of doing nothing, because I never heard, you know what I'm saying? Like I never really heard it. I heard him talking about it from Lazy and all them, but I'm like, I mean, how dumb would that be? You know what I'm saying? Like, just bottom line, like, just use common sense, like, because it wasn't the end of the world, like, at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, the people was taking money from us, but it wasn't the end of the world. So we Bone Thugs in Harmony. Your name is gold. You can go make money elsewhere. And that's what I was doing, you know what I'm saying? Like, going to make money elsewhere.
Well, but it kind of shows how frustrated y'all must be to actually even have thoughts
Oh yeah,
in that direction.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Like, and you know, and that was like still earlier on, you know what I'm saying, in our careers, and like, you know, it was just like, we was just like, yo, this ain't cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, we done made these people all this money, and they like ain't even trying to give us like ain't trying to be cool like a little bit. Like, okay, y'all made this, y'all deserve this. You know what I'm saying? They just raking everything in. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Like I'm saying, like we always had the bad end of the deal when it came to those contracts.
So you guys are going multi-platinum and they're not giving you nothing?
I mean, they paying us, they giving us royalties, but it's like it ain't like what it, you know what I'm saying, what it could have been, what it should have been.
What it should have been.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. They paying us like, they was paying us like here and there. I mean, we still get royalties from our music, from Ruthless Records. I mean, I would say the relationship with the business is better now than it was then, like when we was actually signed to them, because you know we ain't gotta call them for the royalties. They send them to us quarterly. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying. So it's crazy.
Now, during that time, Eazy was beefing with Death Row. Were you guys kind of dragged into that whole situation?
Man, we came in ready to ride, you know what I'm saying, but Eazy was like, you know what I'm saying, Eazy was just like, he told us like straight up, he was like, you know what, man, like this is a beef. This ain't even a Death Row and Ruthless beef. This is a Dr. Dre and Eazy-E disagreement. Because I talk to Dre all the time. He was like, all them other dudes just coming at me on Dre's side. That's like the entourage. But he's like, I talk to Dre all the time. You know what I'm saying? He was like, but I don't want y'all to be involved with this because I got something planned way better for y'all. Y'all gonna be bigger than all this. He's like, y'all just ride with me and stay calm, and y'all gonna be on top of the world. I'm telling you. And like but of course, you know, we was still like, of course we on guard every time we go somewhere with him, and it's possible it could be possible altercations. We like, you know, we riding with you, we gonna be with you, man. We, you know, you tell us not to get in it, but if we see some dudes come and jump on you and we with you, what you expect us to do? We just gonna stand there, you know what I'm saying?
Well, in the same interview, Bizzy Bone said that he ran into the Death Row dudes. Like he was by himself.
Yeah.
Have you ever actually run into the Death Row dudes during that whole time?
Yeah, a few times. It was,
Anything happened?
I was with Bizzy when he ran into him that night. I was with him that night, and all it was we got out the car, we was with our homies from Watts, Meninsky, we was with them, and we was walking into we was going into the Metropolis, the Prince Club at the time. Remember the Metropolis was downtown? Yeah, we was actually going into that club, and we was walking across the street, and I guess some of the dog pound cats, they was on the sidewalk standing over there, and you know, it was just some words thrown out, you know what I'm saying? They said something like Death Row, you know what I'm saying? You know, we was just got back at them like ruthless in this bitch, you know what I'm saying? Just talking shit, you know what I'm saying? Just going back and forth, and then like, you know, like some dudes walked up, and our homies from Watts, you know what I'm saying? They went in and was like, who got beef with Bone? Because if you got beef with Bone, you got beef with us, and it was just, it didn't go no further than a couple words, and like niggas going back and forth. After that, it was squashed, and everybody went about their way.
Well, Bizzy was saying how Farrakhan set up a meeting.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Oh, you weren't there?
No, I wasn't at the meeting. I wasn't at the meeting.
But there was a meeting.
Yes.
What do you know about the meeting?
Yes. No, I just heard that Farrakhan, this was at the time, Farrakhan was trying to pull everybody together. He put meetings together with Fat Joe. I think Fat Joe had some, when he was beefing with the West Coast, and he was saying he was expressing how he felt, how the West Coast was being disrespectful, and you know, Farrakhan tried to set up meetings with everybody that had beef, you know, like just to get them to try to go another route. And I remember when Bizzy was saying that, you know, Farrakhan set that meeting up. That I didn't really hear too much about it, but I just heard, you know, everybody was in there, they was just talking, and I don't know what came from it, but you know what I'm saying? Now to this day, we all cool, so I don't know.
Well, yeah, because Bizzy actually saying that Kurupt is his homie.
Man, I love them dudes. Daz, that's my Daz be coming through with the beats, man. That's my dude right there, for real.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, so all y'all got together, y'all cool these days.
Man, it's all up. We be like, man, what was we beefing over? And niggas be like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? We was just all in the moment, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we young, adrenaline pumping. They on with a big figure like Dr. Dre. We on with a big dude like Eazy-E. Everybody just rushing. You know what I'm saying? We just like.
Well, we had just posted this one piece of audio that we found. I guess Eazy-E had Ruthless Radio.
Yes.
What station was that on at the time?
Wasn't it K-Day?
K-Day, that makes sense. Right, so it was on K-Day, and it was him, and it was, I'm not sure if it was all of Bone, but it had at least one of the dudes from Bone on there. I think MC8 was on there, and Death Row pretty much called in. The Dog Pound called in. They started arguing over the air.
Yes, I was there. I remember that. Yeah,
you were there, and Bone actually jumped in, and you know,
I mean, it was like
said their piece.
I mean, yeah, man, you know, because we was standing there like, you know, just like I said, we was young cats, man. We was already just like, we was like that, like on the regular, like just before we got on, like it was just like, okay, it's time to get with it, let's go. But like, you know, we had to throw our little 2 cents in, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we saw E going in, and they was coming back, and they was going back and forth. We just jumped in it, man. We just got in it. It was crazy.
Well, it's funny because one of the things that stood out in that whole argument was Daz said, yo, you ain't sold 1 million records recently. And then Eazy said, well, you sold 1 million records, but you didn't make $1 million. The two of them started arguing back then.
Yeah.
And everything, so.
Yeah, I heard that.
The gang criminality separate alone, separate alone, that's 30 years consecutive on top of the 20, so that's 50 right there. And we ain't even talking about losing trial on murder. Lose trial on murder, that's forever, you know what I mean? So you get that's another 100 years.
It said that you were making up to $3 million a day.
I've had days that I made $3 million.
You had a $3 million day.
Yeah.
Okay.
A few of them.
A few of them.